Yes, students, welcome. Welcome to Chemistry Online Classes, Tunga Pure College, Jamkhandi. Let us start with next enthalpy processes, what the topic was going on. Same topic continued. Now, previous we have seen enthalpy of formation and then we have seen enthalpy of combustion. Now, today we'll start with enthalpy of atomization. Okay, today let us finish all this and then we'll in next today we can start with next topic. So, what is enthalpy of atomization? Enthalpy means what? How much change in enthalpy takes place, how much change in heat takes place during that reaction, when that particular reaction is taking place. That is, here we'll see enthalpy of atomization. So, what do you mean by atomization? First understand. Of course, starting of this definition will be it is change in enthalpy when. Okay. What change in enthalpy takes place? First understand the process. For example, in fusion we saw that something is melting. Vaporization means liquid is getting converted into vapors. Sublimation means we saw that solid is getting converted into vapors. So like this, what is there in atomization? Name itself tells that atomization is a process of formation of atoms. Atomization means formation of atoms takes place. So the process is called as atomization. So atoms are formed. Atoms are formed from what? Of course from a substance. How much substance should be taken? Then always I am telling you standard is 1 mole. So it is change in enthalpy when 1 mole of a substance is getting converted into free atoms. Formation of atoms process is called as atomization. Free atoms are forming. But that free atoms, remember here, that free atoms should be in their gaseous state. Always I will tell you students, in gaseous states atoms will be far away from each other. So in atomization, when a substance is getting converted into atoms, that atom should be in their gaseous state. Then that process is called as atomization. So how can we define enthalpy of atomization? Change in enthalpy. How much enthalpy change takes place? That when 1 mole of a substance is getting converted into free atoms in gaseous state. That is called as enthalpy of atomization. How it is shown, see here students. Symbol. It is also of course standard enthalpy of atomization. Okay, generally called as only enthalpy of atomization. It is change in enthalpy when 1 mole of a substance is getting converted into free atoms in gaseous state. Okay, who is getting converted? Substance. How much substance? 1 mole of substance into what? Into free atoms. But that free atom should be in their gaseous state. Okay, let us take an example. Okay, imagine that hydrogen is a gas. It should get converted into Cl, 2 hydrogen atoms, and that should be there in their gaseous state. Understanding properly? H2 is a molecule. H is atom. Molecule is converted into atoms. Atoms are forming, so process is called as atomization. Some value will be there. Okay, you need not remember all values. Some value will be there. Value will be expressed in kilojoule per mole. Of course, value will be positive. Process is endothermic. What do you mean by endothermic? When heat is absorbed. When atomization takes place, H2 molecule has to be broken down into atoms. Heat is required. Heat is absorbed. So process is endothermic, and that's why value will be positive. Another example we can think of methane. Methane is a molecule CH4. Now it will break into its atoms. Which type of atoms are there? One carbon is there and 4 hydrogen atoms are there. Okay. Then it is called as enthalpy of atomization. Some values will be there. All values remembering not possible. Okay. Only God understanding. Okay. Can you take any? Okay. I will tell you one different example. Let us take example. Sodium. Sodium solid. Then you may think that sodium is already a atom. Yes, because only single I have written. Here H2 molecule was there, CH4 were there, but sodium is single. But then how we can think of enthalpy of atomization? Try to understand here. Sodium is a metal. Metal, so solid is written. Now sodium solid should be converted into sodium gas. Understanding? Because free atom should be in their gaseous state. So this is also enthalpy of atomization. Okay, in case of sodium, this is equation for enthalpy of atomization. Atom only remains but it goes in gaseous state. This is same example for which enthalpy which I taught you in previous lecture. So solid is directly getting converted into gas. So this is also an example for enthalpy of sublimation. Solid is directly getting converted into gas. There also you can write example of this. Okay, so this was all about enthalpy of atomization, students. So after atomization, let us move towards next enthalpy, that is bond enthalpy. Some things you should understand in bond enthalpy. Let us understand that here. Bond enthalpy. Symbol C, delta. This is the symbol for bond enthalpy. So what is bond enthalpy? Already so many times previously we have discussed this. But now we have to think about it from thermodynamics point of view. So bond enthalpy means energy required to break the bonds. Is it? So bonds are broken down. How many bonds? Of course 1 mole of bonds. Which bonds? Covalent bonds of a particular type. All bonds should be of one type. Okay, then we can think of bond enthalpy. So what is bond enthalpy? How much amount of energy is required to break the bonds? How many bonds? I told you 1 mole of bonds. Okay, of covalent bonds of one particular type. But whenever any chemical reaction is going on, that time previous bonds will be broken down, new bonds are forming. So always during a chemical reaction, students remember that there is breaking of bonds is going on as well as making of new bonds is also taking place. Some bonds are breaking, some bonds are getting newly formed. Breaking and making of bonds always takes place simultaneously. Now, for breaking the bond, energy is required. Understanding? One bond is pre-existing. We have to break that bond because to run the chemical reaction, new product should form, means new bond should form. So previous bond should be broken down. So new previous bonds are broken down. For breaking bonds, energy is required. And when new bonds are formed, that time energy will be given out. Both things are taking place. Breaking of bonds, making of bonds. But what is difference between them? Whenever bonds are broken, energy is required to break the bonds. endothermic reaction. Energy is required, energy is supplied, energy is absorbed to break the bonds. That is called as endothermic reaction, so it will be positive. But to make the bonds, when new bonds are formed, that time energy will be released. Okay, and all this together is involved in bond enthalpy. Okay, so now a bond enthalpy will divide into two types. Now here things understand. Student, directly will not write the definition for bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy, student, it is two types. First is bond dissociation enthalpy. And this is mean bond enthalpy. So we'll see these two terms separately now. So first was bond dissociation enthalpy and another is mean bond enthalpy. Mean or average is calculated when it is polyatomic molecule. For polyatomic molecule, many atoms are there, that time average is calculated. So we have to use this term for polyatomic molecules, understand the difference. And bond dissociation enthalpy is calculated for diatomic molecules. Okay, what I told you, students. Bond enthalpy, let us divide into two types based on what type of molecules it is applied for. For diatomic molecules, diatomic molecule means what? The molecule in which two atoms are there, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, H2, O2, Cl2, N2, I2. For two atoms are there, that type of molecules, bond dissociation enthalpy will use the term. And where many atomic molecules are there, many atoms are present, more than two atoms are there, for such polyatomic molecules, we'll use the term mean bond enthalpy. Let us see that things one by one. So let us first see, students, what is bond dissociation enthalpy. Now, student, both are bond enthalpies only. So for both, generally for this symbol will be same. Bond dissociation enthalpy. What do you mean by bond dissociation enthalpy? It is changing enthalpy. When bond is getting dissociated, when bond is getting broken down. How many bonds? One mole of bonds. What type of bonds? Covalent bonds, but all bonds should be of one particular type. So I will say the definition like this. It is changing enthalpy when one mole of bonds of a particular type are dissociated into gaseous atoms. Bond dissociation. So bond should be broken down. How many bonds? One mole of bonds. What type of bonds? One mole of bonds. One mole of, I will write covalent bonds of a particular type are dissociated into gaseous atoms. Okay, let us take example to understand this. Okay, it is applicable for diatomic molecules. Once again, I will not write, students. Here, see, it is applicable for diatomic molecules. So, like that example only I should write. I will write example. Hydrogen is there. Bonds are broken like this. Then we can take example of oxygen, diatomic. Two oxygen atoms are formed. We can take example of chlorine. Okay. How to write all these? Students, generally when it is diatomic, H bond is there. Here symbol is bond. Okay. When it is diatomic, directly that bond is written. Okay. Okay. So these values also will be in kilojoule per mole. Okay. Energy is required to break the bonds, so it is also positive endothermic reaction. Let us move towards next step, that is mean bond enthalpy. Okay. So mean means what, students? Average. When it is necessary to calculate average, when many bonds are there. Here only one bond was there, H. Between two atoms, one bond was there. So directly we wrote its bond dissociation enthalpy. Everywhere only diatomic molecules are there. This term itself is applicable for diatomic molecules. Only two atoms are there. So between two atoms only one bond is present. So we can use term bond dissociation enthalpy. But if we are having such a molecule in which more than two atoms are present. For example, let us take example of methane molecule. Methane formula is CH4. C is forming 4 bonds with hydrogen. 4 CH bonds are present in methane. Now, though all these 4 bonds are identical in what terms? Their bond length is same. All CH bonds are identical, but energy required to break each bond is different. Then which energy we should call as bond enthalpy? That's why for all these 4 bonds, whatever different energy is required, all energies average is calculated, and that is called as mean bond enthalpy. So when mean should be calculated? Mean means average. When it is calculated? When it is polyatomic molecules. Okay, poly means many. More than 2 atoms will be present. Such a molecule is called as polyatomic molecule. So mean is calculated for such molecules. So this term, remember, is applicable for polyatomic molecule. What definition I can write for this? It is average. First term only add here, otherwise everything is same. It is average change in enthalpy when, otherwise complete definition as it is, when 1 mole of covalent bonds of one type, of one particular type or one type are dissociated into gaseous atoms. Okay, here thing is only what is different here, students. Highlight that average. It is average, and average is calculated when it is polyatomic molecule. Let us take an example of methane molecule. Example, polyatomic molecule CH4. Let us take an example of polyatomic molecule CH4. Methane has all 4 C-H bonds identical. Identical means bond length is same, bond energy is same. But energy required to break these 4 bonds is different. In such case, average or mean is calculated. Okay, let us take an example to understand this, students. Students, I hope you have already written bond enthalpy of atomization. So I will just rub this and then only I will write the equation for methane. Okay, methane equation will write this side. Methane has total 4 bonds, CH bonds, but all 4 bonds, energy required to break all these 4 bonds is different. I will write that. So I will continue here. Methane, imagine that methane's first bond is breaking. So CH3 plus H I am writing. Every time it is necessary to write G. Okay. Then for this enthalpy we will call delta bond H1. Okay, it will be some kilojoule per mole. We'll write the values afterwards. Okay, now one bond is broken. Now next bond CH3 gone. Only one bond breaks. Then CH2. And lastly CH. Okay. All these are yes. Let me write the values. Okay, here first common things I will cancel out. So finally I got that CH4 gas is getting converted into carbon gas plus 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so students, values here first requires 427. All these values are student in kilojoule per mole. First value, to break first bond in methane, amount of energy required is 427. For second, it is required 439. All values I am writing kilojoules per mole. Next value is 452. To break this bond, third bond, energy required is 452. And last one is 347. So now how to calculate all this? Let us see that calculations. We should take average of all this. How to take average? Okay, students, write down this so that I will calculate average here. Okay, so I will write, students, delta whatever 4 values are there, that divided by how many bonds are there? 4 bonds are there. Okay, values I will write. Divided by 4, and how much this total comes, students? Please do, I have already done, so I will write directly. You please do calculations and understand the answer. And it comes around 416 kilojoule per mole. So this is mean enthalpy for methane. How it is calculated, I hope you understood. Methane has total 4 bonds. Breaking of every bond needs different energy. No need to remember these energies. Only for your understanding, I have written all these numbers. You can write only these, and then all are calculated divided by which number, how many bonds are there total. So like this, average is calculated divided by total number of bonds. Okay, like this you will get the answer. So this was about bond enthalpy. Let us, students, move towards next type of enthalpies. Enthalpy of solution systems. Next term, enthalpy of solution. Okay, solution is what, student? Substance is dissolved in solvent. That is called as whatever forms after dissolving that substance in solvent, that is called as solution. So how can we define enthalpy of solution? Of course, it is change whatever is taking place in enthalpy when substance is dissolved in solvent. How much substance? 1 mole of substance. But for solution to make, solvent should be of one particular type. Don't add solvent in, mention that solvent should be in a specific amount. Okay, because here one another term is there, that is enthalpy of dilution. So difference you understand, when solution is made, that time solvent quantity is fixed quantity. But when dilution has to be done, dilute solution has to be prepared, that time excess of solvent is taken. Okay, so for solution, our definition will be, solution means substance is dissolved in solvent. How much substance? 1 mole of substance. In how much solvent? Specific amount of solvent. So how can we write the definition of enthalpy of solution? It is change in enthalpy when 1 mole of substance is dissolved in specific amount of solvent. That much easy. Let us see. Let us see, I will write the definition of solution. Okay, how it is shown, delta H of solution. Okay, it is change in enthalpy. It is change in enthalpy when one mole of a substance is dissolved in specific amount of solvent. When 1 mole of a substance is dissolved in specific amount of solvent, what heat change, what enthalpy change takes place, that is called as enthalpy of solution. Let us take an example. For example, NaCl is the salt. Salt, so I am writing solid. Salt is solid. It is added in water. Solution is made by adding this. Okay. That time Na dissociates to give Na plus. In water, so I am writing aqueous. After dissolving in water, NaCl breaks to give give Na plus and Cl minus. That Na plus dissolved in water is called as aqueous. Plus aqua means water. Cl aqueous. Understood? For this, how much energy is required? I will write delta for solution. This value is 5 kilojoule per mole. Okay students, so you understood what is enthalpy of solution. Let us see next what is enthalpy of dilution. Same. Complete definition as it is change in enthalpy when. Of course, dilution is also similar to solution. Substance has to be dissolved in solvent. That is also similar to solution only. But in dilution, one thing should be there, that solvent should be taken excess and excess. For solution, we have written in specific amount of solvent. Instead of specific amount, now I will add infinite amount of solvent. If much more solvent is taken, then such a solution is called as dilute solution, and such enthalpy involved is called as enthalpy of dilution. So how can I define this, students? Here it is change in enthalpy when, of course, always we should take 1 mole of substance. 1 mole of a substance is dissolved in infinite, or you can say excess amount of solvent. Infinite or excess amount of solvent. Then it is called as enthalpy of dilution. Okay. Here only you should write in equation excess, then it becomes enthalpy of dilution. Student, here one more thing we'll see. Enthalpy of solution, I will write here, enthalpy of solution is sum of enthalpy of lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. Students, see correctly, solution enthalpy is together, or it is addition of sum of lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. Both these together is known as enthalpy of solution. Because how solution is made, student? First imagine example, NaCl, sodium chloride salt we are adding to water. We are adding NaCl, then first NaCl should break. Energy required to break this lattice. Lattice enthalpy is applicable only for ionic solids. What do you mean by ionic solid? Solid consists of ions. Example, NaCl. Okay. So whenever you are adding salt to water, first that NaCl should break down into its ions, and energy required to break that NaCl ionic solid into its ions in gaseous state, that is called as lattice enthalpy. Only terms understand, students. So what is lattice enthalpy? How much amount of energy is required to break ionic compound, ionic solid like NaCl into its ions in gaseous state. That enthalpy is called as lattice enthalpy. Here energy is required because that ionic compound has to be broken down into its ions in gaseous state. So these values are always positive values. Next, then imagine that NaCl broken down into Na plus and Cl minus. Next step is that Na plus and Cl minus should dissolve in water. They should get hydrated. They should dissolve. That enthalpy is called as enthalpy of hydration. So what do you mean by enthalpy of hydration? That particular ions should take water molecules. And when they will take water molecules, they will absorb that water. Some amount of energy is given out. Exothermic reaction takes place. That enthalpy is called as enthalpy of hydration. That molecule takes up water, get hydrated. That is called as enthalpy of hydration. Always remember, students, lattice enthalpy is energy required to break that ionic solid. So here energy is required, absorb, endothermic reaction values will be positive. Hydration enthalpy is energy required to take the water molecule to get hydrated. Now lattice is broken down into Na plus and Cl minus. Na plus should absorb water. Cl minus should absorb water. And when water is absorbed or the ion get hydrated, that time some amount of heat is given out. So hydration enthalpy is always negative values. Delta H of hydration is always negative. Okay. And based on that, enthalpy of solution can be positive or negative. Now when it will be positive, when it will be negative, just imagine. If I told you that enthalpy endothermic values positive, hydration exothermic values negative. When hydration enthalpy is more, plus this is minus. But if it is more, answer will be, if this value is bigger, negative value is bigger, your enthalpy of solution will be negative. So when hydration enthalpy is bigger, this value will be negative. So accordingly, we'll write the things. What is lattice enthalpy? What is hydration enthalpy? Let us see the students. See the things. So students, see here. I have written lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. Just now I have told you that enthalpy of solution is sum of, see here, enthalpy of solution is sum of lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. So let us understand, students, lattice enthalpy means what, hydration enthalpy means what, and then we'll come to this point once again. Okay. So how we are running the topic understanding? Solution, enthalpy of solution is addition or sum of two enthalpies, lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. So what are that enthalpies? Let us understand once again. Lattice enthalpy. Lattice enthalpy, as I told you that lattice enthalpy means how much energy is required to break that lattice. Lattice means crystal lattice. This term is applicable for ionic solids or ionic compounds. Ionic compounds means compound made up of ions like NaCl, KCl, CaCO3, like this ions should be present. Okay. So lattice enthalpy of an ionic compound, like this heading I have written, because you should understand that term is applicable only for ionic compounds like NaCl. So what is lattice enthalpy? What enthalpy change takes place? Change in enthalpy which occurs when ionic compound is dissociating into its ions. Okay. How much ionic compound? 1 mole of ionic compound. When 1 mole of ionic compound is dissociating into its ions, but that ion should be in its gaseous state, that enthalpy is called as lattice enthalpy. Excuse me, students. It change in enthalpy which occurs when 1 mole of ionic compound dissociate into its ions. How much ionic compound? 1 mole. You can see here 1 NaCl ionic compound is dissociated into its ions, Na plus and Cl minus, and that ions are in their gaseous states. Such enthalpy is called as lattice enthalpy. Students, as I told you, energy is required to break this lattice and then converted NaCl into Na plus and Cl minus. Energy is required, rather energy is absorbed to break the bonds. That's why lattice enthalpy is always endothermic reaction. What do you mean by endothermic reaction? Previous videos, if you have watched, you will know that the reaction in which heat is absorbed, that are endothermic. So always remember delta H lattice values, here I have highlighted plus sign. Values are always positive because this process is endothermic process. Okay. Now one thing again very important about lattice enthalpy is that it's just impossible to find out lattice enthalpy. We cannot find out lattice enthalpy. So I wrote here, it is impossible to determine lattice enthalpy directly by an experiment. By performing an experiment, finding out value of lattice enthalpy is not possible. Okay. Then how it is calculated? So one indirect method is done. Directly by experiment is not possible. So indirect method is used to find out lattice enthalpy. One Born-Haber cycle is there, in that is constructed, and using Born-Haber cycle we can find out lattice enthalpy of a ionic compound. So what is written here? It is impossible to find out lattice enthalpy directly by an experiment. Therefore, one indirect method of constructing enthalpy diagram called as Born-Haber cycle is used. Okay, students, in your syllabus again, lattice enthalpy is not much important. Topic is as such important, but Born-Haber cycle will be surely asked in annual exam. So understand what is relation of Born-Haber cycle here. Lattice enthalpy construction should be done. Why lattice enthalpy? Because to calculate enthalpy of solution we need lattice enthalpy, and lattice enthalpy finding out directly by experiment is not possible. We must construct Born-Haber cycle. It is one type of enthalpy diagram which is constructed. In your syllabus, Born-Haber cycle we are going to construct for ionic compound NaCl. Okay, that we will see in further videos. Okay, so there you will come to know Born-Haber cycle. Again, very important question. We will discuss it in next videos. Okay, so you understood that lattice enthalpy we can't find out. We must construct Born-Haber cycle. So one Born-Haber cycle is also involved in your syllabus. Now let us understand what is hydration enthalpy. Hydration enthalpy, I told you that one anhydrous salt will be there. Anhydrous meaning is without water. That salt, how it will take water, energy required for that is called as hydration enthalpy. Anhydrous salt dissociate into its ions, and that ions will take up the water. When water is absorbed, that salt becomes hydrated. Before it was anhydrous, without water, it will take water and then it becomes hydrated salt. The enthalpy involved during this is called as hydration enthalpy. This hydration enthalpy, remember student, is always opposite to lattice. Means what? In lattice heat is absorbed. In hydration, when that molecules or that anhydrous salt will take water, that time some amount of energy will be given out. So this is an example of exothermic reaction. So see, enthalpy of hydration here. What is that? It is change in enthalpy when 1 mole of anhydrous salt, meaning of anhydrous is not having water. How much such salt we have taken? 1 mole standard. 1 mole of anhydrous salt is hydrated by combining with, of course it will combine with water, but specific number of moles of water to form hydrated salt or to form hydrated compound. It is always exothermic reaction. One example is given, you can see here, copper sulfate salt is there. Salt is solid, so S is written. It takes up 5 water molecules. Specific number of moles of water are absorbed. So it becomes now CaSO4 5 water, direct formula, and it remains solid only, but before it was anhydrous. Before it was anhydrous. Anhydrous meaning is without water. Now it is having 5 waters. Hydrated salt it is called. Okay. And here I have written value. Purposefully minus n I have written. You should understand that it is always exothermic reaction. Heat is given out. So negative sign. So now students here say. Lattice enthalpy always positive. Hydration enthalpy always negative. Now enthalpy of solution. When it will be positive and when it will be negative? See student. Enthalpy of solution is sum of lattice and hydration. If hydration is bigger, then hydration has having negative sign. Then enthalpy of solution will be negative. So I have written when hydration is bigger than lattice, then dissolution, this enthalpy of solution, dissolution process is exothermic because answer will be negative. And of course opposite, when hydration is less, then answer will be positive. So it will be dissolution is endothermic reaction. Okay. So I hope you understood everything. Write the things correctly. Let us see which factors. Now we have seen all the enthalpies overstood. All terms finished. It took 2 videos to finish all the terms. So go through all the terms, revise the things, understand the minor differences present in that. So write the things properly. Enthalpies are over. Let us understand which factors affect all these enthalpies. So students, see here next topic. Okay. Students, see enthalpy of reaction we have seen. Various enthalpies of reaction we have seen. Now, finally conclude this topic. Finally, what is enthalpy of reaction and which factors? More important question is which factors affect the enthalpy of reaction? Okay. So factors are very easy. Again important question, put a star. Which factors affect enthalpy of a reaction? Whichever enthalpy, which factors are commonly there, that we'll see. So let us see students, what is enthalpy of reaction? Of course it is change in enthalpy as we wrote for all definitions, which occurs when, commonly we can say that when number of moles of reactants indicated whatever by the balanced chemical equation have completely reacted. How many moles of reactants are there that are completely reacted under the given condition? What are given condition? If vaporization, different condition, fusion, for formation, for combustion, different conditions are there. So whatever the number of moles of reactants are indicated in the balanced chemical equation that are reacted at under given conditions, that is called as enthalpy of reaction. Student, let us see today's last topic, which factors are affecting enthalpy of reaction. Very simple way I have written the things as it is. Write the things with example. Whenever question will be asked, you should write your point. Explain your point by giving an example. How that I have shown here. First thing, how enthalpy of reaction changes. First point is, when physical state changes, then enthalpy also changes. Physical state means solid, liquid, gas. When physical state of reactants and products changes, there is of course change in enthalpy of the reaction. For example, enthalpy or heat of reaction for 1 mole of steam is different than 1 mole of liquid water. Okay, so here I have written 2 equations, same equations here. How water is formed? Of course water, how much form? Whatever is forming, that should be taken 1 mole. Then you will say that madam, why you wrote here half water? Because I have written this equation for formation of water. In formation of water, whatever is forming, water is forming, that should be 1 mole. So accordingly you should write the reactants 1, 1. Now here of course H2 and half water oxygen you should take. So both equations are same, but in upside equation H2O form is in gaseous form, that is steam or that is water vapors. For that enthalpy required is different number. But when water in liquid form is formed, that time delta H value is different. Student, I will tell you, remembering these values is not at all important. You can just write x, y, different number. One number is x, then another is some number y. Okay, no need to remember these numbers. Only understand that reaction is same. If physical state changes, enthalpy changes. Physical state was gas, number is different. Physical state is liquid, then number is different. So you understood that enthalpy changes if physical state changes. Okay, let us move towards next factor which affect enthalpy of reaction. That factor is temperature. Temperature of what? Temperature at which that reaction is carried out. If same reaction is carried out at two different temperature, then also enthalpy change will be different. See here, I have written reaction for ammonia formation. Ammonia means NH3. How ammonia is formed? Nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. N2 plus 3H2 gives two ammonia molecules. Okay, so equation you should be knowing. How ammonia is formed? Nitrogen combines with hydrogen. N2 combines with 3H2 to form 2 ammonia. Same reaction I wrote 2 times because first time reaction was carried out at 300 Kelvin. Second time reaction was carried out at 323 Kelvin. The necessary things I have highlighted. In exam you should also highlight the same. Physical state highlighted. Here temperature is highlighted. If same reaction is carried out at two different temperature, then you can see that delta H values are also different. Here also need not remember the values, you can just write x and y, but write different temperature. Same reaction carried out at two different temperature, delta H values changes, means enthalpy changes according to temperature at which reaction is carried out. Next factor is allotropic form. If allotropic form changes, then also enthalpy changes. To understand this, I have taken example of carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide or burning of carbon. Carbon, if its allotropic form is, already I have told you that allotropic form is the form in which carbon exists naturally. There are two natural allotropes of carbon, one is graphite and another is diamond. If carbon in the allotropic form of graphite undergoes combustion, then this much amount of enthalpy is released. But if diamond burns another form of allotropic form of carbon, then enthalpy number is different. Okay, so enthalpy changes when allotropic form changes. Factor understood? Very simple factors are there. Last factor we'll see. If amount of reactants and products changes, then also enthalpy changes. So I have written this by taking very simple example. Again, C plus O2 gives CO2. This example so many times we have written, students, so you will be knowing its value also. Its value is, delta H value is minus 393.5 kilojoules per mole. Okay. Now amount of reactant and product changes, then how delta H value changes, that understand. I wrote first C plus O2 CO2 minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. If amount will change, we'll multiply this complete equation. What type of equation is it, students? This is thermochemical equation. Okay. So this equation I multiplied by 2. Complete equation. Carbon became 2, oxygen 2, carbon dioxide 2. Amount I have increased twice. Because amount of reactant changes, delta H also changes, but there is relation. If complete thermochemical equation I multiplied by twice, all reactant and product become doubled, then enthalpy also becomes double in same proportion. All reactants and products doubled, then enthalpy value also doubled. So enthalpy of reaction also depends upon amount of reactants and products. With all these factors, let us stop today's video. See you soon, student, with Hess law in next video. Keep working.